Previously on Grover's Mill.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a grave announcement to make. Incredible as it may seem, both the observations of science and the evidence of our eyes lead to the inescapable assumption that...
Welcome all to Mercury. Your data clocks are set. Remember, the air is dangerous, but the nitrogen is not. Next flight to Saturn departs in 42 orbitals.
That's it, yeah. Well, it was amazing that. Like, it was a big bang down on Earth for them, wasn't it?
That was when humans were fun.
Okay, all flight controllers, go for landing. Retro. Go. Rhino. Go. Guidance. Go. Control. Go. Telcom. Go. GNC. Go. Ecom. Go. Surgeon. Go. Capcom, we're go for landing.
Okay, engine stop. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Wilkie, Rodney was good to us, and he's part of our family.
Yep.
We all been on this journey together, so Dirk and I want to see it through, don't we, Dirk?
Damn straight. See it through to the end.
Damn right.
This is Miranda talking to me and Brian at the airport while we're waiting to go through to board our flight to Panama.
We know, Miranda. Look, without you wanting to start this whole thing, we would never have been here.
Damn right, Wilkie. We love an adventure, don't we, Dirk?
Oh, yeah, we loving those crazy times.
Look, I'll call you when we land, okay? And thank you. Thanks for everything.
So Brian and I get on the plane with a case of vodka checked in and arrive at Tocumen Airport in Panama roughly 6 hours later. We head to our hotel and pick up a message that someone will be by to collect us at 7 a.m. I decide that now would be as good a time as any to get in contact with Dr. Burkhoff-Veneton. I'm hoping he might be able to give us a different perspective on what's been going on. Burkhoff is a well-respected psychologist and evolutionary biologist who studies the ideas, perceptions, and manifestations of truth and reality. He has spent his life's work studying why people believe one thing over another, why they're determined to believe a lie is a truth and vice versa, and why sometimes it's the only way for them to make sense of the world.
I suppose we're just trying to find a way to tell people the truth, or certainly what we know to be the truth.
Right.
Without those with infinitely more resources like government or corporations or otherwise attempting to silence us with threats, or worse. Not only us, but also those who've accepted the truth and adjusted their lives accordingly. So I guess what I'm asking is, how do we reveal the truth without those powers then changing the narrative to suit their own agendas? Knowing what you've learned about the truth and how people see it, how do we do that?
Yes, right. Very good question. I once did a study involving university students.
Right.
We got 3 males and 3 females in a room, so 6 students in total.
Yeah.
We put 5 wads of cash, each consisting of £1,000 worth of £10 notes on the table. You following me?
Yeah.
We said the object of the exercise was to split the cash equally among the group, yes? Now, the only other thing we told them was that they could also exchange the cash for drugs at the end of the experiment. So, what do you think happened?
I don't know. What, someone stole all the money?
No. You see, it was fascinating. They all sat there for an hour, probably like a jury would, yes, discussing how they would split up the money. They came to a solution fairly fast, right? I mean, it's roughly, £833 each?
Yeah.
But the issue is that the real division is not a round number. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So, given the money was in tenors, that would mean there would be £20 left on the table, yes?
Right.
So then the argument became about which 2 students should have the last 2 tenors. This went on for another 2 hours. Can you imagine that? The funny thing is, no one in the room thought of just leaving that money, so that it was completely even. Just simply leaving it on the table was an option. No one thought of it. completely pass them by.
Right.
So this goes on and on and on, and eventually it turns into chaos. Can you imagine? Someone says that they're taking it all, and then two people, they team up, and the girls, they go against the boys, and people want to leave the experiment, and it's chaos, it's chaos.
Yeah.
And by the end, the students decide just leave it all. That's it. The only resolution. Leave it all. Not share it. Leave it all there on the table. But little did they know that before the experiment, while they were in the waiting room, what we had been doing in the holding room, we were playing very quietly the audio from a number of police interrogations of drug dealers.
Wow.
You see, they were primed to abrogate the drug element of the deal. A mental exclusion, if you like. But that is, from this one girl. Yes? Let's call her Ginger.
Right.
Well, just as they were all about to end the experiment, Ginger, you see, our girl, she comes up with an idea. She says she will take all the money, get the drugs, and then sell them for a bigger margin, and then split the money with the rest of the group. Marvellous. Because they're exhausted, and their brains have come to the conclusion that they've looked at every other option. What happens? They all agree.
Yeah. Right. So what happened?
That happened.
What?
She takes the money and exchanges it for half a kilo of cocaine. I kid you not.
Right. So let me guess. She didn't share the profits, and she kept it all for herself.
No. She got killed.
What?
Totally fucked her up. Ethically, we could never use real cocaine in a scientific study. It was just baking soda. A couple of dealers found out and killed her. I mean, sad story. But what a study, eh?
Yeah. Right. So, but how do you or we know what's real and what's not?
Well, you see, for that, you need to go into the whys and the why-nots. It all has to do with power. Power dictates the version or versions of what is real. Fake breasts are fake, but they're real, as in they exist, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
So they're no longer fake, right?
Right.
Are you following me? I once did an experiment with a bunch of fake plants in offices to see if people thought they would improve the working environment. The office workers all thought they were real plants. Had to water them, care for them, speak to them. And you know what we found?
No, tell me.
Well, actually, I don't know. I became fatigued with the experiment and moved on. But isn't that interesting, nevertheless?
I'm not sure I follow.
Well, there might have been a truth somewhere there, but it wasn't worth pursuing. You are pursuing a missing person in order to get to the truth, correct?
Yeah.
But what if it is not there? What if all this is a simulation, and you're a mere player in a cruel game? What if your soul is just an algorithm set to eventually self-destruct? Can you imagine? Anyway, I must go. I'm running an experiment where we play the Kardashians on a mind-numbing loop to hamsters.
Right, yeah, not a problem, Dr. Fennerton. And look, thanks again for your time.
Not at all. The pleasure's all mine. Talk to you soon.
Well, I can't say Dr. Fennerton was 100% helpful, so I make a note to ask him more questions in a follow-up call, and Brian and I decide to go to a local bar to discuss our next moves. As we're chatting, I spot a well-dressed, middle-aged couple come into the bar and sit close to us. They're both wearing Panama hats, which kind of stand out in Panama. I keep glancing at them. Why do they look so familiar? And then I realise they look exactly like the man and the woman in the photos MacB showed us. Hey, don't look round, but I think those men in black type guys are here, behind you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What should we do?
I don't know, I think we should go talk to them.
Wilkie, really? What if they arrest us, or worse?
Oh, come on, they would have done that by now. I walk over and introduce myself. It's then that I notice they both have step haircuts. It is them.
Hi, I'm Wilkie Poe. You two look like you're from out of town. We are too, so we thought we'd come over and say hi.
Hi.
This is Brian.
Hi.
Hello,
Art here speaks her own unique language. She's saying hello.
Hi.
Hi.
There's an awkward pause, understandably. Maybe they think we're trying to pick them up.
And what's your name?
Art Livers is her name. And I'm Alan Marcus.
Chop, chop, fry, fry, cabby.
She's asking what you do.
Me? I'm a forensic psychic.
That's hilarious. Tell me, is my cat going to die?
Look, I don't predict things. I help find things.
Right. No, Art. No, he can't really predict things. So what are you guys doing in Panama? Business?
We're on vacation.
Yeah, vacation.
She thinks you're lying.
Well, it's true. What are you guys doing?
We're in the movie business.
Oh, right. Big movies, like FBI-type movies?
She says, the FBI? That's funny. What would the FBI be doing down here?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the FBI don't want anyone to know the moon landings were faked.
Brian, he's just joking.
Moon landings? No, we're just here scouting for locations.
That banging you can hear Is Art bashing her head on the table.
Jimmy maskensa kahira shamunate.
Art, no. We can't tell them what the script is about.
Oh, we'd love to know.
Yeah.
Well, it's about a boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And he's moved to Panama.
Right.
And he's becoming a man.
Oh. And?
Yeah, right. And one day he meets a woman and they're watching a film.
Right, yeah, what film?
It's an old one.
Yeah, which one?
E.T.
E.T. Oh, and?
Right, so they're watching E.T. and she says she's never been touched before.
Eh?
Right, so he says to her, well, I could E.T. you. And she was like, no, I think I better go. And then he gets all embarrassed and then decides to make a range of sex toys in the shape of E.T.'s finger.
That's weird and gross.
It's a low-budget art house project. Independent. Anyways, nice talking to you.
And with that, they scull whatever's left in their glasses and walk out of the bar. These two have been definitely following us, and it makes me feel really uncomfortable, to say the least. Kind of sick to my stomach, if you know what I mean. It makes me wonder if we've got in too deep, whether we should have let it get this far, and that maybe it's time to stop. Brian reminds me we're here to find Rodney, and once we do that, we can get back to our everyday lives. The rest of it, he says, is not our concern. I tend to agree with him. Tomorrow morning, we'll be going to Elmia's house, where hopefully we can get Rodney and put all of this behind us.
Hey, I see you walking through that door.
No, we haven't come in yet. We're at the gate. We can't get in.
Hey, you look.
Sorry? We don't understand.
Hey, I've got to tell you hi.
Why?
Hello, we're here to see Elmia.
Hey,
Is this a song?
I don't
Oh
know.
my god. Yeah. Okay. Hey, shake it like a Polaroid.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Yeah, that's the one. Shake it. Shake
Yeah,
it.
shake it,
Shake
shake-
it. Shake
Hey,
it.
I need to be closer to you.
Fuck this, let me Google it.
Those are the.
No,
they're
it's
the
another
lyrics.
one. No, it's another Hey Ya song. Look, read these ones. Hey Ya, baby, you're the only one for me.
I want to get closer to you. I don't even know the.
Just read it.
Hey, baby, you're the. Why am I doing this?
You win! Come in!
We're talking about this later.
We walk up a gravel drive to Elmia's house. It's a sprawling, hacienda-like villa with an orangey pink hue, with columns, a lush garden, and a huge fountain in the beautiful courtyard. We get led inside where there is, as you would expect, a giant staircase. We're ushered into a library off to one side. The room houses a prolific collection of paraphernalia, all related to space exploration and the moon. Pieces from the shuttle, moon rock, an astronaut suit, framed photos, and hundreds of books. It's a cathedral of memorabilia and must be worth a mozza. Then a door opens and in walks an astronaut. Yeah, I know, but it happened. It's Elmia, and he's wearing a spacesuit and speaking through his helmet.
Hi there. My name's Brian. This is Wilkie.
Bienvenue, mes amis.
You've got a lot of moon paraphernalia here.
Oui.
And Rodney's here?
Oui.
Can we see him?
Yes, of course.
Oh, forgive the theatrics. It's just a bit of fun. I can't breathe in this thing.
It's all right. So,
Elmia.
Eh?
French-Hungarian.
Sorry.
Enchanté.
How are you involved in all this, Elmia?
But you see all this?
Yeah.
I spend over 1.5 million collecting all this wonderful testament to our human advancements. But then I get many emails and letters saying the moon landings were bullshit and that the facts were too powerful to ignore. So I got in some scientifics, some analysts, and I thought, I'm going to shut up these stupid assholes. How could it even be so close to true? Of course, we went to the moon, it's obvious. Are they fucking crazy, eh?
Elmia walks over to a moon rock. He picks it up and gives it to us.
But in the end, I was wrong. This moon rock, it looks like moon rock, eh?
Yeah.
Wrong. It's from a volcano in Papua New Guinea.
This moon dust here is 100% validated by NASA. But when analyzed, it's the same concrete that they used to build autoroutes in the 1950s. Can you believe that? These signed photos, look at this.
Yeah.
The signatures of the astronauts are real, of course.
Yeah.
But the photos themselves, when you look at the shadow, it doesn't make sense. There are multiple light sources. The shadow would not fall that way. And see this? See this? It's a studio. I have many pictures to prove that. Look, right there at the back. Does the moon have a fucking wall? I don't think so. This suit, it's real. But it's never been to the moon. It couldn't handle the vacuum of space.
But surely...
And that's not all. Look at the landing site. There's no fucking impact crater, no dust. Look at the photos. Where are the stars? It's all black. Are you fucking joking? And look at this. Look at these crosses on the photos.
Yeah.
This one is behind a rock, and it isn't even straight. C'est quoi ça? There is even the same backdrop in two totally different sites. Do they think we're stupid? Of course. Mr. Bean is not this stupid. It's unbearable. Alan Bean from Apollo 12 was banging a pole into the lunar surface with a hammer. And you can hear the noise. Since there is no air on the moon, this is impossible. But the most damning of everything, NASA have acknowledged, have admitted that we are only now starting to build the technology that can take a manned spacecraft beyond the Van Allen radiation belt. And that until now, we have only been able to remain in the orbit of the Earth. So basically, in 1969, there was not the technology to get a living thing beyond the radiation belt. Wow! Think about that. Do you realize there is more technology in your fucking phone than there was on Apollo?
Come on.
Yet, in 69, they managed to go beyond the Van Allen radiation belts? Really? They would have been fried. No. Listen to me. I used to be a believer, like everyone. And I used to think the cranks were crazy. But when the facts come and slap you in the face, you have no choice but to accept that sadly, this was one huge lie. I tell you, no one has ever been to the moon. No way.
Wow. So, well, when did Rodney get in touch with you? What's his involvement?
I've been on the dark web promoting the cause. Rodney reached me. We connected. He sent me the tapes. Wow. You know how I made my money? Fake hair, wigs, weaves, toupees. Made me millions. So now I want to get to the truth. And Rodney's tapes are a game changer for the cause of finding that truth.
Can we see Rodney now?
He's not here.
Well, where is he? You said he was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed to make sure that you were you.
Can we talk to him?
Yeah, of course. We can take you to him.
Great.
And then what? Huh?
I just want to see that my brother's okay and then find out what he wants to do.
Yeah, but you see, you are in it now. We need you. We need you to help us to get this out in a way that people will believe.
Whoa.
We can't get involved in this.
No, Brian's right. As interesting as all this is, I also like living this kind of stuff. People, they disappear.
Come on, what, you are worried that you are going to be punched by Buzz Aldrin?
No, but I mean, come on. Look, it might have happened. We might have landed on the moon. All you have is circumstantial. There's no hard evidence. You're just connecting the dots to fit in with your own preconceived ideas of a conspiracy.
I'm very disappointed. But you are here for Rodney.
Yeah.
Hello. Very well.
We walk out the back of the house and get led to a huge shed. It's so big it's practically a warehouse. We walk in and suddenly stop. Brian and I can't believe our eyes.
What is this?
Oh my God.
Before us is an actual set of the moon landing site, down to every last detail. We're walking on soft grey powder. There's a huge black panoramic backcloth. The American flag is placed as we've seen it in all those famous photos. The landing module is real enough and looks exactly like the photos. There are rocks and boulders, but most eerie of all is the silence. It's an astounding scene.
There is only one way to prove that they faked it, and that is to fake it. To show how they did it, and where the mistakes are. So that's what I've been working on.
At that moment, a person in a spacesuit is lowered down from the ceiling on some cables.
Is that Rodney? Rodney? Hey, Rodney!
Brian goes over to the astronaut and hugs him, but it's not Rodney.
No, that's Diaz. But he likes a cuddle. Rodney should be in the back room.
We walk into the back room, but there's no one there.
That's strange. He's usually on that computer there.
So where is he?
I don't know. He was here.
It's then that I notice 2 Panama hats sitting on the desk, and I get a flash of a vision. I fall to the floor and black out. I come to a few moments later.
What happened?
You blacked out.
Oh man, the hats.
Alan and Art.
I got a clear vision. You saw something? Yeah. Near a beach. A small airstrip of some kind, an old hangar. Rodney's in a car. I know where that is.
We jump in the car and speed to this tiny airfield in the middle of nowhere. There's one car on the tarmac. All 4 doors are open. No one inside. Suddenly, the hangar doors start to open, and inside are Rodney and the 2 FBI agents. They see us.
Oh, look what they had brought in.
Cat, what the cat brought in.
Look, Art, Alan, this is not the way to get what you want.
I'm really glad you guys are here. This is starting to send me crazy.
It's good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too, bro.
Oh, this is sweet. This reminds me of that scene in Pretty Woman when they're all down in the tunnel and they find that monster. And at first they're scared, but then they're relieved because the monster's their friend. You know the one?
I think that's the Goonies.
This is a difficult predicament.
Not really.
Elmire pulls out a .44 Magnum and points it towards Art and Alan. I kid you not.
Oh, shit. Ça suffit! Listen to me. We are taking Rodney with us.
Just slow down there, will you? We're letting him go.
Rodney moves over to us, and we back up slowly.
I think we should get out of here.
We manage to get back to the car and leave the 2 FBI agents behind, and we head back to Elmire's place. I want to let Rodney talk now.
Okay, how did all this happen, right? Okay, so I guess I was just minding my own business in the salon in Grover's, doing my thing. Life as normal, if you like. And then one weekend I decided to paint the house. Who knows why? It was a last-minute impulse decision. The walls had been annoying me for some time, so I take down those 3 paintings, Brian, the ones in the hall that Mom gave me?
Well, hang on, the paintings that Orson Welles gave your grandfather?
Right. So I took them down and placed them on the other side of the hallway. But then I noticed that they all have this backing and some scribbles.
Right.
I thought it was the artist scribbles or whatever, but then it looks familiar. So I take a close look and it's Dad's handwriting.
Dad's handwriting?
Right. Never noticed it before. So I looked and there are dates and times that Dad had written and then a symbol, a pyramid with an eye in it.
Ah, oui, the Illuminati.
Right. So I touched it, I guess, and it felt like there was something under the paper. So I peeled it back, and there was something behind it. So I pull it apart, and there's a cassette tape, like an old school cassette, wedged between the backing board of the painting and the paper. So what the fuck, right? I do the same for the other paintings, and there's a cassette in each of them.
Right.
So 3 tapes in total, right? So my head is now spinning out, right? What are they? What's on them? And, it's 2018, so I don't have a cassette player in the house, just the computer.
Oh, of course.
Why didn't you call me?
Well, I didn't know what it was yet.
Well, so what happened?
Well, Travis, right?
Sure.
So
yeah.
I figured he probably had a tape player in the studio. So we arranged to meet at the studio and we played the tapes. And as soon as we played them, I knew who it was. Smart dog, he had no idea. But yeah, I knew Orson Welles' voice. So I listened to all these recordings and, man, it's pretty heavy stuff. Travis thinks it's hilarious, so much so that he takes a sample when he was bored listening with me and he rapped around it.
So that's on one of his songs, right?
Sure, yeah. I figured who's going to think this is real anyways, right? So Travis converts the files and he sends them to me on Dropbox and I save those to my laptop, right? So now I have all the files and I rethink it and I realize I need some backup before I contact anyone. So I get on tour and I get in touch with a couple buddies who I know from my Bitcoin days and we all pick up on the same thing, that in tape 3, Orson mentions these files, papers of evidence, right, with a clue to where they might be. And this is the weird bit.
There are no papers?
No, there are. In the tapes, Orson says something like, evidence can sometimes be kept in plain sight and sometimes it's only 3 feet to the left. But left of what? So we listen to the tapes again. Then just before the tape ends, he says, all monuments should hold truth, even if they themselves may not be true. We couldn't crack it. And these are, hacker-type guys. Then one night, drunk on whiskey, I'm thinking about all these coincidences, Grandpa being a test pilot, the alien paintings, Orson, I live in Grover's Mill. I mean, fuck, right? And then it all just fits.
The Martian landing.
Exactly. The monument in the park. So maybe the truth is 3 feet to the left of that.
Oh,
come on, maybe. But really, was it?
Really?
Well, I had to find out, right? So I head there at 3 a.m., and I start digging around these little trees, which are roughly 3 feet around from the monument, and I hit a metal box. I pull it up, open it, and inside are some plastic bags with files of documents.
What kind of documents?
I'll get to that in a minute, but just as that happened, a car pulls up and 2 guys get out with flashlights. I grab the bags and run. I mean, I was scared, man. I get in my car, I hightail it out of there. I drive for 15 minutes as fast as I could. It was so dark, my heart was thumping so fast. I pulled over into the orchards and I ran into the woods. I've never been so fucking scared.
Oh, man.
Did you have the bags?
No, man, I left them in the car.
Dude.
I know, but so, look, I stay in the woods, fucking freaking out. I'm thinking if they find me, I am screwed. So I don't know why, but I threw my backpack up into a tree and I lay down to catch my breath.
All right, so what happened next?
Right, so I stay in the woods until I think about 6:30 and then I head home.
Well, who were those guys? Did you see them?
Those guys were official, man. Like government shit. I didn't want to get involved in any government fucking interrogation,
No. They give you a good cavity search, get right up there in your asshole.
Yeah, exactly. So I pack up and I head on over to the pub to speak to George. He used to hide people back in the days when actors were persecuted for performing adaptations of A Midsummer Night's Dream.
What the fuck?
I beg your pardon?
I don't know, that's what he told me. So Melody arranges for me to meet a Russian guy who uses vodka bottles to smuggle all kinds of shit. So I pack the papers into the vodka bottles and I ask the Russian to hold them as I don't want to get caught with anything, man. But now I've got a few messages from my hacker buddies who've pieced this all together, and the staged moon landings, all of that. And they say that there's this sympathetic French guy in Panama who's behind the movement to promote the truth, and I can stay with him. So the Russian sets it all up, and I get here a couple days after.
And what about the blood?
Blood?
Yeah.
They found blood in your house, dude.
Oh, that, yeah. I left that there as a ruse, I guess. I cut my finger and I just let it drip onto the floor. I figured if people came that they would think it's a robbery or a kidnapping or something. It doesn't make much sense, really. I was an asshole, but I was panicking, and I thought if I could distract people away from the real reason, it would give me time to make a plan.
Did you ever think that I would get involved?
Fuck no. I thought everything would be a lot simpler than this. Look, I'm glad Miranda contacted you, Wilkie, really. If none of this had happened, I'm sure I'd be locked up by now. Either in government detention or a home for wackos,
So I should tell you that while Rodney was speaking, Elmia has been taking notes and shaking his head, like everything he thought about the world was coming true. It's an expression of deep disappointment coupled with huge relief, something I admit I'm starting to feel myself.
Is that it?
Dude, that's most of the story. The quick version anyways.
And what do we do now? What's the plan?
The plan, now that we have the documents, has to be to get this out there to the world.
Exactly.
But no one's going to believe us. They'll think we're just deluded conspiracists.
But we have evidence, man.
If evidence isn't proof, what does the evidence say?
A lot. And it's authenticated from proper sources and people. People you would never think.
We need to get this out there and show everyone.
Yeah, but how? Think about it. They can say the papers are fake, the recordings are fake, that we're crazy. How do you get around that?
Snowden and Assange can help.
Ed Snowden? Are you kidding me?
They bring credibility, Brian. They can authenticate the papers.
All right, but then what?
We are now arriving at Mercury. Your data clocks are set. Remember, the Mercury sun shines brighter than any other. Wishing all life forms a pleasant orbit.
So I watched that thing you sent me on the human ego.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was fascinating. To think they only saw the world in 2 dimensions when we can see them in hundreds.
I know. I mean, if they knew it was exponential and limitless, you'd wonder if they still would have done what they did.
Yeah, so bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't even fold fitted sheets properly.
Oh, I know, right?
And they couldn't get batteries to last on their phones.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
And they poisoned all their water to get gas out of the ground instead of using the sun. Duh.
Morons. Tell me another, go on.
Well, they never figured out that mirrors transmitted all the way up here.
Hilarious. Talk to me.
All these humans, they were fuckers.
Well, they are fuckers, aren't they?
Yeah, they had this saying, how can we put a man on the moon but we can't do X, Y, Z, yeah? But the thing is, they never put a man on the moon in the first place, did they?
No.
And then one of them, he had the audacity to tell them all that they could build a town on Mars.
Hilarious.
Yeah, they had no idea about true wave gravity. They all thought this one guy could get them into space. Our elders were laughing when they found out, do you remember?
I think their ego is what contributed to their ideas that they could conquer the galaxy. I mean, if you think about it, what drives them to think that they've got the right to come up here?
Yeah.
Where's the logic in it? You know, that they had these humans they called scientists.
Oh, yeah, scientists. Yeah, they were a funny lot, weren't they?
Well, these scientists made up a bunch of stuff only they could understand.
Yeah.
Clever, right? And built a whole story out of it. And because there's no way of proving it was wrong, everyone believed them.
What, kind of like mermaids?
Yeah, like they became famous for it.
But surely someone pulled them up on it.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, they said science doesn't lie. The thing is, it does.
It does. Well, the fact that they invented measurements to be the deciding factor just blows my mind, I tell you. I mean, they were measurements and models unto themselves, these people. No basis in the philosophy of the universe, and nothing can be measured.
Exactly.
As soon as it's measured, it ceases to be real.
And not even their AI could figure that one out.
And what about cryonics? All those
dude.
frozen humans. What was that all about?
Okay, I'll tell you. To bring them back to life so we could laugh at them up here. That's why. I mean, imagine, right? If you were a human and frozen, and you thought that whatever you died from, that we could fix it.
I mean,
Who do you think we are? We've got enough STDs up here ourselves.
Exactly.
And get this, some people even thought they could bring humans back into consciousness.
Fuck me.
Right. Why did their rulers constantly deny our existence?
Yeah.
Question. Why did
know.
they hide us, kill us, run experiments on us?
Don't
Why did they think they were superior beings when they knew we could see the other side of time, read their thoughts, patch into any gravitational wave to see what they're doing?
Yeah.
Absurd.
Absurd.
No idea.
And don't get me started on Area 51.
Oh, don't.
Those idiots. You know, the thing about human rulers is when you put them under an energy scanner, they all have this dark matter. It's really bad matter.
It is, isn't it?
And you can see the evolution inside them. Oh, yeah, I bet they hate space food as well.
It's lucky we don't have rulers like that.
If we did, we wouldn't be here. Their rulers ended Earth for all of them.
I didn't see it coming.
Although, hey, dude, that one human, he was onto it, wasn't he?
Who?
Stephen.
Hawking.
Hawking. Get this right, he only told the humans 0.2% of the whole story.
Really? How do you know that?
We're friends, aren't we?
Friends? You two?
Yes, we are homies.
You patching in? Genius.
As always. Thanks for the compliment. I am a genius, aren't I?
You got any plans to come to Mercury or Mars soon?
Are you kidding? I'd rock it with you guys anytime. We could roll out into some vortex shit.
Stephen and us in a vortex. Can you believe it?
I can.
Hey, Stephen.
Yeah. We were just wondering why you never told the other humans about everything, like the whole story, like, because, you know, they listened to you.
Oh, that again. I had to drip feed them information. And when I saw the reaction something tiny like a black hole got, well, I knew they wouldn't be able to handle the truth. In many ways, it was too complex for them.
But Stephen, you knew everything back then. Maybe they would have had a chance if you explained it all to them.
Oh, you guys crack me up. No, the one thing you aliens don't understand about humans is they are, for the most part, illogical and irrational. Genetic flaws of design. They are built to destroy themselves, then renew, then destroy. But something went wrong in the wiring, and the program couldn't renew. I think it was because we had something called narcissism. Genetically speaking, narcissism changed the DNA. When I saw that, I knew it was pointless.
So you jumped ship?
I jumped onto a ship. In fact, your cousin's RX-423 that had gravitational oxydolarity.
Aha, that's right. Harry picked you up.
Got to go, fellas. Can we talk again soon?
Hells yeah.
Anything for the Hawking. Right, so he's a subhuman human, right? So it's a shame about the rest of them. At least we've got their pets, though, right?
Their pets? What do you mean?
Human pets. They're wicked. Like the cockapoodle.
What? What do you do with it?
Well, you kind of, you look at it and then you just try and play mind games with it.
You what?
Yeah. I'll look those little fuckers right in the eyes and then I'll ask them what they think of humans.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What do they say?
Well, that's just it. They just nod. Like they know that we know.
Oh, you are too much.
Next time on Grover's Mill.
They could argue that even if the moon landings were fake, that to broadcast that or reveal it would be exposing a state secret. So technically, they can put you in jail for exposing something that isn't real, but they said was real.
So you're saying that call was fake?
Listen, buddy, I was there. Neil and I were eating a Carl's Jr. burger in a shed in Lincoln County, Nevada.
Well, context is everything. You know, if they tried to sell the same story today in the same way with the same amount of analysis at hand, I doubt you would get that polarity of opinion. Contextually, everything was more controlled and new then.
I guess that also means the presidential pardons we were going to hand over to Mr. Assange and Mr. Snowden here, well, they go away too.
Grover's Mill is written and produced by Matt Cohen-Gold, Garrett Dupes, and me, Wilkie Poe. Music and sound design is by Matt Sladen, with special thanks to Rupert Degas and Amy Horn. We'd also like to thank Megan Tate, Mark Gluhack, Barry Stewart, Marcus Beer, Stephen Busatil, Zan St. Pierre, and Anya Dolganova. This has been a Grover's Mill production, copyright 2018. Grover's Mill is a fictional podcast that is shared with you as a satire and parody. It depicts entirely fictitious situations that are products of the writer's imaginations. The podcast references familiar places and events, and whilst we have also used some real-life personalities, the characteristics, qualities, and actions that we've applied to those people are not intended to be real. We also do not suggest any association with or sponsorship by any person or entity. All other names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this production are fictitious. No identification with actual persons, living or deceased, places, buildings, and products is intended or should be inferred. For further information on Grover's Mill and its use in satire, parody, and fiction, please read the disclaimer on our website, groversmillpodcast.com.